So there are tons of games out there, and there are tons of games with different lengths. Some games are 1 to 2 hours, some games are 100 to 200 plus game hours, which is really difficult to get into. Now, however, I'm going to talk in this video whether I prefer short or long games, and there's kind of a stipulation about it, is like, oh, that game's too short, it's not going to have a good story, or that game's too long, it's gonna take me way too long and I'm not gonna care towards the end. And that's kind of why I wanted to talk about this. Yes, my voice is a little raspy, I am getting sick, but we're not gonna worry about that right now. We are worrying about short and long-term games and what is better. So I'm gonna talk about some short-term games and then talk about some longer-term games, and then we'll decide what is better. So I have 2 games of each, and the first one is Poi on the Nintendo Switch, and this is a awesome game, and I want to say this is about a 5 to 10 hour game realistically. It's a lot of fun, and it reminds me of Zelda Wind Waker, to be honest. It has a lot of puzzles, and it's a fun kind of semi-open world game, and I really enjoyed it, and it was something that I loved because I could sit down and play it pretty quickly and finish it relatively quick as well. Next is a game I've actually been playing here recently, and that is God of War Chains of Olympus. This game is about 5 or 6 hours once you complete it, and this is such an awesome God of War game because you can take God of War on the go. Yes, it's kind of dumbed down, but it's the PSP. What would you expect? The graphics still kind of hold up. They don't look terrible. You know what you're doing and everything, so I like this game. It's pretty linear, but it's not a long game, so that is why I added this one to the mix, because I've been playing this and it's a lot of fun. Now I've got 2 games that are longer, and the first one is Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I'll tell you, I have about 180 hours into this bad boy, and I love it. I've played it so much, especially the first year it came out on the Switch. I hit it hard. I hit like 100 hours like the first 3 months or something like that. It was pretty insane, so I have definitely enjoyed this game and loved this game, and it's pretty sweet. And then next is a game that I've never actually played, but that is Skyrim. Skyrim is a game that people love to love and they love to hate it because it is such a long game. And if you put it down for any amount of time, you just don't get to play it as much. You run out of time to play it or whatever. You just forget what's happening, and I've seen people pick this up, play it for a few months, and then put it down because something else came along. And when they try to go back to it, they're completely lost and basically have to start over. So that's why I added this into the list. Now, it comes down to, do I prefer short or long-term games? I'm going to let you know that I prefer short to mid-range games, honestly. But that's not talking bad about the long-range games. Those long-range games oftentimes are the better story, are more immersive and everything like that. However, I just don't have the time to play a 500-hour game or a 200-hour game or even a 100-hour game, honestly. Sometimes I'll be playing these games and I'll just get 100 hours into it or 200 hours and I'll get bored and forget where I'm at and just be like, okay, well, I wasted time on that one. Whereas when it's a 5 to 30 or 50-hour game, I'm more likely to be able to pick it up more regularly and play it and remember and forget it a little less. So that is why I prefer the short to mid-range games, just because they tend to be kind of all-encompassing and very quick. The stories are still pretty good. They're not as insane as the long ones, but that's what you get when you cut down a game from 200 hours to 50 or from 100 to 20. That's just how things work. So I want you guys to comment down below, what do you think about short and long-term games? Do you prefer short games or long-term games? Comment down below and let me know. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Big Cartel, Patreon. All that stuff is down below in the description. Since you're already here, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. With that being said, have a good day.